Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the separation methods in chemistry. In daily life, we have occasion when components of mixtures are to be separated. All substances are not present in their pure form in nature. Most of the substances are present in the form of mixtures. We can separate useful component of mixtures by using various methods of separation. The choice of method of separation of component depends on the properties of the component of mixtures. Different types of separation methods are used in chemistry. First is simple distillation. When one component of the mixture is volatile and other do not vaporize under the same condition, they can be separated by distillation. For distillation, we need a round bottom flask, a thermometer, condenser, and a beaker. If the component of mixtures possess large difference in their boiling point, they can be separated by distillation. Example, separation of alcohol from water. Let us see the procedure of distillation.
Separation of components of a mixture containing two miscible liquids that boil without decomposition and have sufficient difference in their boiling points. The distillation process involves heating a liquid to its boiling point and transferring the vapors into the cold portion of the apparatus, then condensing the vapors and collecting the condensed liquid in a container.
Next is fractional distillation. If the boiling point of component have very small difference, fractional distillation is to be used to separate them. Example, separation of methanol from ethanol. Ethanol and methanol are two miscible liquids. There is only small difference in their boiling point. These two liquids are separated from their mixture by fractional distillation. Look at the picture of fractional distillation. Next is separation using separating funnel. Separating funnel is an apparatus used for separating immiscible liquids from their mixtures. Example, separation of kerosene from water. Look at the picture showing the separation of kerosene from water. Next separation method is sublimation. The process in which solid when heated changes directly into gas without melting into liquid is called sublimation. This method can be used to separate the component of mixture which have the properties of sublimation. Let us see the sublimation process.
There is a simple experiment to study sublimation. Some ammonium chloride is taken in a china dish and a glass funnel is kept inverted on it. A cotton plug is inserted into the funnel and the china dish is slowly heated. It is observed that ammonium chloride on heating gets directly transformed into vapor. Also, the vapors get cooled on the glass surface and are converted into solid form. Thus, we infer that ammonium chloride undergoes sublimation and hence is converted into vapor form directly. Also, the vapors when allowed to cool directly get transformed into solid state.
So this method can be used to separate the components which have the property of sublimation. Next is centrifugation. Centrifugation is a method of separation in which the liquid containing sample is taken in test tube and is rotated about the central point in an instrument. The particle with higher mass then get separated away from the center and those with lower mass remain close to the center. This is called centrifugation. Let us see the procedure of centrifugation.
Centrifugation is the process of separation of insoluble materials from a liquid when normal filtration does not work well. Centrifugation is based on size, shape, density of the particles, viscosity of the medium, and speed of rotation. The principle of centrifugation is that when spun rapidly, the denser particles are forced to the bottom and the lighter particles stay at the top. The apparatus used for centrifugation is called a centrifuge. The centrifuge consists of a centrifuge tube holder called a rotor. The rotor holds balanced centrifugal tubes of equal amounts of the solid-liquid mixture. On rapid rotation of the rotor, the centrifuge tubes rotate horizontally, and due to the centrifugal force, the denser insoluble particles separate from the liquid. When the rotation
So, in order to separate insoluble particles in a liquid mixture on the basis of their mass difference, centrifugation is used. Next method of separation is chromatography. Chromatography is a method used to separate more than one solute dissolved in the same solvent. This method was first employed for separating colored substance, and hence this process came to be known as chromatography. Look at the picture of paper chromatography. Let us see the procedure of chromatography.
Separate the different pigments of ink which are present in a wet erase marker, which we'll see right here. So a vis-a-vis marker is wet erase, which means that the pigments are water soluble. We'll start our experiment by drawing a line with the marker on the chromatography paper. Then what we want to do is insert that chromatography paper into a beaker with a small volume of water in it. We can see that the water will start to rise up the chromatography paper because of capillary action. You'll note this happening very quickly because this is 16 times speed playback. We can see that the ink, which originally looked black, is starting to separate into different colors. This is because the different pigments have different properties. Some of them are heavier, some are lighter, some are more soluble in water, some are less. Because of these differing properties, all of the different colors are going to travel at different speeds. And by the completion of our experiment, we should see some very nice separation of the different pigment colors. Now,
So these are all about separation methods. Thank you.